talking with owners of commercial property who are looking to sell that property. And we're talking about the top 3 things you need to get when you sell your commercial property. So number 1 is, how are you going to get paid for the property you are selling? Usually the best case scenario is you get paid the purchase price, cash on the barrelhead, and you walk away. Sometimes sellers of commercial property will give an accommodation, and they'll provide what's sometimes known as seller financing. Basically, they'll agree that a portion of the purchase price can be paid to them by the buyer over time. And when that happens, the key is to get as much security as you can in the form of a deed of trust, personal guarantees, maybe a security interest in other assets, but you need to make sure that that promise to pay you over time is airtight and secure as possible. Number 2, when you're selling commercial property, you need to keep the promises you make about the property condition to a minimum. You want to make sure that the buyer understands that it's his or her responsibility to do an investigation of the property, hire whatever inspectors they need to hire, but that you as the seller are basically selling the property as is or close to as is. The more promises you make about the property condition, the more opportunities there are for you to have trouble after the sale. And then the third thing that you want as a seller of commercial property, when you go into contract to sell the property, you want to make sure your buyer is as committed to the deal as possible and that they're going to close on that transaction. In other words, that you're not going to waste 3 or 4 months dinking around with someone who ends up pulling out of the deal. And the way you do that is you get a large earnest money deposit, and then when there are contingencies in the deal, you put a short deadline on those contingencies. In other words, they have 10 days to review the title report or 5 days to review the title report, and then if they don't object, it's gone. You just need to make sure that there's a short deadline on all of the contingencies. So listen, we know what kind of stress goes into marketing and selling commercial property. And we know that you have questions along the way. So when you have those questions, give us a call at the Sierra Crest Business Law Group.